All right, guys, welcome back. And if you haven't guessed it by now, by the name of the video or that super sweet montage intro that I did, today we're gonna be working on the WRX. So what we're doing today is a bunch of stuff. My dad is actually coming in to help, and we are gonna do some stuff kind of like the old days when him and I used to work at cars. We've gotten out of it. We have a big announcement coming up on the board, which is actually wrong, by the way. We have almost less than 30 days for our first track day or time attack event that we're running in. We're going to take the car and shake it down and actually get it ready. I think the goal or the announcement is that next year we're going to be running in a bunch of time attack, global time attack, maybe some Gridlife, stuff that we have never done before, and we're going to do it in this car. So what we're doing is today we've got a bunch of parts that we need to get on the car and get started kind of doing. Now obviously we have a list here, as you can see, rear brakes, pads, stuff that you guys have already known about, but I got some other stuff in too that we are going to go over here in a second. So let's go ahead and jump over here and take a look at what we got. Okay guys, so here we are at the table of parts. As you can see, it's got a bunch of stuff on it. So let's go over some of the stuff that we have here. And I can't remember what half of this stuff is, to be completely honest. Obviously, these are STI rear Brembo brakes that we need to put on, and we have our braided lines. So those are we're not doing that today, but we have Perrin. This is all the parts that we have. So essentially we're not doing this stuff today, but these are all the parts that we have, and the ones that we're doing today are over here. But this is kind of the stuff we have. So obviously the STI brakes I just talked about. We have a new thermostat from Mishimoto. Brake pads to go in the fronts and rears. These are EBC Premium Streets. We have a shift light, which you can see here from Shift P2. We used to run these in all of our BMW race cars that we had, so we just had an extra one. Let's see, Perrin. We have Inlinks rear STI urethane bushings, Inlinks front WRX STI urethane bushings, and a subframe lockdown kit. This right here, if I remember correctly, which I probably won't, is our engine and transmission mount. We have a battery tie down in this box, which I'm not going to pull out. Don't worry about this. This is a DCCD controller that we're probably not going to use. And then we have our white line. There we go, white line front and rear sway bars. We have Mishimoto radiator hoses that need to go on. So all of this stuff that I just covered right here, the car is going into the shop October 19th. We have a Subaru specialist that's putting all of this shit on. He will be doing all of this stuff here on the 19th and having it all put on and done. That way, we know it's done by a professional. This guy works on Subarus. He is a very well-known shop here in Arizona, and he is right next to Snail Performance. So this right here will be all done on the 19th or that week, so here in about a week and a half. So what today my dad and I are doing are two things. One, we're going to drill the holes for the eye bolts for the Bridgemoto belts for the car. So we'll have all the holes drilled, all the eye bolts actually bolted in. So we're going to do that today. And then the other thing that we're going to do, and one of my dad's specialties. Now I will tell you guys, I am dog shit with wiring. I'm not good. I'm horrible. I hate it. I'm not a fan of it. But my dad is somewhat decent at it. So today he's going to actually wire in and get everything set up for our radio. Now, one of the things that I think is incredibly handy when you're racing or driving or doing any type of time attack is a radio system. Now with our helmets, we actually have the earbuds and a microphone in the helmet, so I'm able to converse with him on the radio. So what we're doing today is, or what my dad's gonna do, because I'm not doing it, is he's gonna take the box here and he's gonna get it positioned in the car where we want it for the radio, and then have everything run and wires. The antenna, I believe, is on back order, so we don't have an antenna to do just yet, but he can get everything situated and everything ready to go for the radio when that comes. So I am at the shop by myself, so until he gets here, so we'll wait till he gets here and then we'll get started doing these mods for our track day in 30 days. Yes. All right, now pardon the audio because we have the, I don't know if you guys can see it, that the fan is on, so we're trying to keep it cool in here. But the old man is here. So, Dad, I told them about the track day. Are you excited?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's been far too long since we had a track day.
All right. What are you looking forward to the most?
Driving the car.
All right. So, we are going to get started on the WRX. Dad, what are we going to do first?
Radio.
Radio. So we're going to do the radios first.
Take the seats out, radio system in,
and the belts. So first things first, we probably ought to take the seats out of the car. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, so what I'm doing, what I'm in charge of, we got the seat out, obviously. This wire right here is what plugs into your helmet when you're actually hooked into the radio. So what I'm doing is, I'll show you guys, is we've got the wire run on the roll cage, that'll focus, and it runs down the roll cage to the floor. Now, once this focuses, what I'm gonna do is this cord here, we're actually gonna run under the carpet to where the center console is, and then on the back of the center console, which obviously is not here right now, the box for the radio will be bolted on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this is for the antenna and to plug in to your helmet. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and route this under the carpet and then back here. So one of the things that we decided for next year is we're gonna keep the carpet in the car. So essentially, once this car gets to the point where we wanna do it a full weld-in cage, then we will pull everything out of the interior and completely gut it. But for now, we just want to run some time attack with the car's interior and everything still intact with the bolt-in cage. So we're gonna go ahead and get this set up. Obviously, we'll have to change this when we do a weld-in cage, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up where the wire runs underneath the carpet and to the box. My dad, which you can see over there, sort of, is right there, is drilling the box for the radio to go on the back of the center console. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the camera and get this thing wired. All right, so now you can see I've got the wire through. This wire runs to, this one here, runs to the steering wheel where you can actually press the button to engage the radio. So we're gonna let that one sit off to the side. This other one, we're gonna run this wire as best we can underneath the center console. That way we're not worried about it getting messed up, and we should be good to go. So I got the wheel put back on. I took it off, obviously, to pull the seat out, but we've got the wire run underneath. We'll clean this up here once we get everything kind of put in, but then this bungee, which I don't know if you guys can see, will run up in through here and then plug into the plug there on the bottom. So we've got everything ready to go. I just need to get the box mounted up on the center console, which my dad is working on right now, which you can see doesn't want to focus. There it goes. So you can see he's working on that right there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get everything, just make sure everything is tightened up, make sure everything's in the right spot, and then once he gets the center console back over here, we'll go ahead and get it back on and should be good to go. All right, guys, there it is. We have the wire ran from the cage all the way underneath to the box right here. That's where the radio will sit. Now what we have to do is we'll have to run the antenna back down through the seat here. Once it's through the seat, it'll run all the way down to the box. But now we've got a spot for the antenna and the radio, and everything is back in. So you can see here, center console, everything. So now all we got to do is just get this wiring cleaned up underneath. But now when we press the button on the steering wheel, we should be able to transmit. And now, yeah, so
I'll work on that over there right now.
All right, there he goes. All right, guys, project number 1 is complete. Let me show you. All right, as you can see, it focuses, there we go. Run down, up and through into here. So we are good to go there. And then everything is ran under the center console There's the wire that plugs into the radio, and then there, up into the plug for
Helmet plug.
So, project number 1, complete. Great job, Dad.
Good job.
All right, now, project number 2, somehow get eye bolts through this and into the floor. So, we're gonna have to take the other seat out, so don't get too comfortable.
Now let's do them one at a time so I have a place to sit.
All right, guys, we're gonna try to get this started. All right, guys, so to make this easier to cut and drill for the eye bolts, come on, camera. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the box cutter, I'm gonna cut out the carpet in the bottom. Eventually, we have both come to the conclusion that eventually the carpet's coming out of this car.
Everything's coming out.
Everything's coming out eventually, but I think what our plan, and then you can correct me if I'm wrong, our plan is to run this for a year in time attack, and if we really enjoy it, then we're gonna yank everything out of this thing
and run time attack.
And still run time attack, but we're gonna gut it, and it's gonna
a lot lighter car.
A lot lighter car. So right now, it's not gonna hurt me to cut out. Basically, what I'm gonna do is the bolts for the seats are here, 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 and here. Come on. What I'm gonna do here, guys, is I'm gonna go ahead and cut this whole piece of carpet out, which is useless in regards essentially to once we put a bucket seat in here, it's not gonna matter. But we're gonna go ahead and cut this out so we can actually see where we're drilling and make it easier on us because we're not the most precise. So we're gonna try to do as best we can. So let's go ahead and get this cut out and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so we got our holes drilled. You can see this is gonna be for the center since it is a 6-point harness. And then we have that hole there. And on that side, it's obviously gross in here, whoever had the car before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pull the other seat out, cut the carpet, and get started drilling. That way we get started. So let's do it. Guys, so I went ahead and got the other seat out. Obviously you saw me drill, so everything is pretty much done. The holes are drilled on this side, which it's not going to focus. Holes are drilled on that side. So now all we need right now is the nuts to attach to the eye bolts, and then we can get the belts in. So I'm waiting on my dad. He had to run Ace Hardware to get those. One of the things that we got in while literally just now, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys what we just got in. Boom. So we got in our door numbers. Now, obviously this car will end up getting wrapped, but these are just magnet. So boom, you can magnet them on and off. These will get us by for the first couple events. We got them on both sides. These will get us by for the first couple events, and we will actually have a number. We've always been number 66, and that is a Star Wars joke. And if you guys don't know that Star Wars joke, then I don't know what to tell you. But I've always been 66, at least my car number has always been 66. So these are cool, they're magnet. I will leave a link in the description so you guys, if you guys are wanting some numbers on the side that you don't want permanent like decals or anything like that, these are literally just magnets and they come on and off. So if you take your car and you do autocrosses or whatever, or you do some other stuff that you need numbers for, they look really good. You can get your name, whatever color you want, flag. Obviously we have our names on there, but something cool to add to the car and give us our number. Like I said, always been number 66. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and wait on my dad to get back with the bolts, and then we should be able to get the belts in. And yeah, so let's wait on him. All right, So we got our nuts for the eye bolts. Now the Mishimotos come with eye bolts already on them, and these should be long enough to run. We've got our washers as well, so we're gonna go ahead and get these installed and we'll see. All right guys, so we've got the eye bolts in, they're tightened down, and I'll show you guys. So there we go, center, sides. Dad's working on adjusting the centers over here. He started getting the rear on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the seat back in on this side and see how they sit. So I got the seat ready behind me right here. We're gonna go ahead and get it in. The next thing you guys will see is the seat back in. And we'll see how they look. All right, guys. Look at that right there. We got the belts in and adjusted for me. Now we're gonna get my dad in and make sure they're adjusted for him. We have not done the passenger side yet, but as you can see, they are nice and adjusted. I'm sitting pretty good. Obviously, I like to sit a little bit closer than my dad does, so we're gonna try to adjust, make sure that we can go from where I'm sitting to when he gets in the car, it's adjusted for him. So obviously there's gotta be a little play in them, because he's gonna be a little bit bigger. So we wanna make sure that he gets in the car correctly too as well. So. All right, we're good, guys. We got the belts. Obviously, we got a lot of play here, so we'll cinch all these up and make sure that they're shorter. But for now, we got the passenger belts in. We got the driver belts in. That's gonna do it for today's video. So if you guys are liking the content and you're enjoying the WRX build series, or if you're looking forward to the R32 build series, which is almost done, fingers crossed. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash the like button. Please hit the subscribe, it helps. And I think the next thing that we will have for this car is we're dropping it off to get all the stuff that I showed you guys earlier done. So once that's done, it's basically just taking it to the track. So should be fun. It's my birthday weekend. We're gonna have a good time. So with that, guys, peace out. We'll see you guys next time. Next video you guys will see will probably be the Skyline video. So deuces, later.